actually gluing things to people's faces. And
stand by. We just having it. It's from over here.
Sound issue.
Yeah. Oh my God. I just realized that when okay, give me 1 second. I can't believe. Okay. So we actually have Ann on. We have Ann right now, and holy shit, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. The first 15 minutes it was muted on output.
Wow.
Yeah.
oh no.
Yeah. So okay.
I told you should have labeled those things in Spanish.
My sincere apologies,
Oh
folks. Oh my
my.
God. Welcome to a brand new episode of With the Side of Chaos. This is Patricio, aka Rocky. And I got Tanner and Taylor Gang in the house tonight because we haven't had them on the show in a while. Salty Aaron's out doing a show, and Alex is working. My sincerest apologies. I can't believe we're gonna have to do this again, technically speaking.
Okay, start from the
Okay.
But we're professionals. We got this. And here's what's going on. We're sitting down with Jennie Ryder, a local special effects and makeup artist here in Central Florida, who we were just talking to her, and the conversation that we were having was basically focused about the events that we deal with and the process the performers go through during the makeup session of Halloween Horror Nights, and kind of give us a recap of like when you go in, like, because the show usually starts like 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
Yes. Says 7, usually starts at like 6:30 because they want to appease to all the masses.
Yeah. And you're there way beforehand, right?
Yeah, usually we roll in about 4 as makeup artists.
And what's the prep like for you guys to the fact that you have to apply anywhere between 10 to 50 people in just in a short amount of time?
Yeah, it kind of depends on what we're doing. If it's makeup or airbrush makeup or prosthetics. Really, it's just setting up our airbrushes, setting up our little stations with all of our paint, setting up any prosthetics, doing any pre-painting we need.
Mm-hmm. And now, like, asking the actual question, because I'm sorry that we went off at a tangent, and oh my God, that was fucking great audio. Fuck. None
of the Okeechobee, none of the Tanner videos, none of that. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, we asked Tanner how about how he went viral for a little bit.
My life's been going down the shitter, man. Complete opposite of what we talked about.
Chris fucked me over on a pyramid scheme with Okeechobee.
It was a chain reaction.
Yeah, we all got fucked over. But going back to our guest and how I said I'd met Jennie through a friend of mine, Cody, and we'd met up at Graffiti Junction. From there, we went to Burton's, and the conversation just went on. And I'm like, I need to know more about what you do, because like you give off a really cool vibe.
Oh, thank you.
And when you told me what you did, which was, special effects and makeup, and you were showing me some of the pictures, I'm like, I do stuff too, but like you're way better. You're a fucking pro. And
You're so sweet. Thank you.
I want to ask you, like, here's the question in regards to how you got into this field, because it's not everyone has like these skills or this creative output. So like what was the factor that got you into this?
Well, I've always been artistic. I started with drawing and painting like most do. And I kind of segued into special effects in high school, like my last 2 years of high school. It's a pretty funny story. I'm from Indiana originally.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I think like my junior year of high school, my parents made me go to this career advisor, and I was dreading it. And they made me take a Myers-Briggs personality test.
Oh, shit.
And then it generated a whole list of careers they think I would be good at. And it was like bartender was at the top of the list. I was like, I did all this for that. Like nothing against bartenders, but artist was also up there.
Okay.
But anyway, I'd been entertaining the idea of special effects really ever since I saw the Thriller music video by Michael Jackson. Rick Baker was the artist on that one.
Okay.
He's brilliant. But ever since I saw that, I was really, really little, and I was like, that's amazing. I'd love to do that. So just on a whim, I brought up to this career advisor, well, I'm kind of interested in special effects makeup, but I don't know where I would go to school for that or how to get into a field like that. And she said that she went to high school with a guy who does special effects in Orlando.
You went to high school with a guy, right?
I went to high school with many people.
With a guy.
I went to high school with a guy too. Like, I went to high school with the guy.
Yeah, sorry about that guy.
Yeah, and so his name is Andy Wright, and she ended up putting me in contact with him, and I ended up giving him a call. I actually interviewed him for a journalism assignment in high school, and then he was like, "If you and your mom ever want to come down, because I was still a minor, if you and your mom ever want to come down, and I can just show you some of the basics, you're more than welcome to." And I did that, and
like that first interaction of like seeing that world.
yes,
what was that like?
It was so cool. So Andy is, typical guy, father of 3, great guy. And he worked at the time out of his garage at his house. And then he still has a studio in Orlando, but now he's up in Atlanta, making it big, doing film work and TV work. But at the time he was working out of his garage. And he had a little shop. And I mean, it's not glamorous by any means. Like you're in your sweatpants and you're covered in silicone and stone and dust. But it was really cool. It was a really cool experience. We actually worked on a project together, where we made like alien head busts.
Ooh.
We made about 10 of them together, and they all were themed differently. So we had like evil clown alien.
Yeah, I was gonna say like how.
yeah, nightmare fuel, right? Evil clown alien, like creature from the Black Lagoon alien, and just we did some fun ones, we did some creepy ones, and I ended up selling most of them, which was cool. And so after that, I was like, yeah, this is my thing. This is what I want to do. But I actually ended up going to college, getting my 4-year degree in something completely unrelated, and then circling back around and pursuing it again.
Tanner, you cosplay, right?
Never have.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I know. Shocking.
I thought I knew something.
I've never been to a con either. Sorry. I know.
Okay. So I know Chris.
I'm sorry.
Chris, you and I have cosplayed before.
Yeah.
You and I have, done our crazy get up schemes, but like, have you ever like worked with like makeup, like for your cosplay, or do you feel like you always use like props?
No, I mean, I never have. One time I got lucky. It was a Halloween party. It was like 2 years out of high school, and I didn't know what to get, and I didn't know what to be. And a friend of a friend was actually a pursuing makeup artist. And she did the whole vampire thing on me. I had a gash on my head, teeth. I mean, it was really cool. Like she gave me like little black eyes, and I was a vampire. And I mean, I got a lot of compliments on like the gash and everything. And I mean, it took like 30 to 40 minutes to do it. But that was like my first time ever really interacting with special effects, like makeup, and it was a pretty cool experience.
He was Count Chocula.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. But so you got the inspiration. You got to work on all these really cool, build these alien heads,
right?
And like, what kept you in that field?
Yeah. So, like I said, I made those with him when I was about 18, and then I kind of did something else for a while. I felt like it took me a while to build up the confidence to really like go out there and pursue it, because it's kind of it's a very niche industry, and it's a little bit daunting to just kind of throw yourself in there.
Yeah.
But actually it was another internship I did with him after I graduated from college with a psychology degree.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I kind of wish I could do that over, but that's okay. And so I went back to Orlando. I interned with Andy for about 2 months, and we were working on some really, really cool stuff. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk about what we were working on or not, but some really cool stuff for the Disney theme parks.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I was just like, okay, 100%. I'm sold. This is what I want to do. I'm committed. And so I asked him, hey, like, what do you recommend? What are the next steps? And he said, if you want to learn fast and get good fast, I would recommend going to school. And he recommended a school called VAMP, which is located here in Orlando. And it's called the Vocational Academy of Makeup and Prosthetics.
Sorry, something just went down my throat.
No worries.
You heard VAMP and you got excited.
Yeah, right. Right.
I think I did. Yeah. As a former VAMP scare actor.
No worries.
But yeah, okay. So you go to school, and now you start picking up the breakdowns, the fundamentals of makeup. Was it something that you felt like you already knew, or was it something that like they kind of tuned like tuned your tool?
I definitely felt like I knew a decent amount going in, just because I had worked with Andy and he gave me a lot of info, and I had been studying. He gave me some book recommendations, so I've been reading those. But I learned so much more than that. I'm still learning every day. New techniques and new ways of doing things. And Vamp was just an amazing experience. To anybody who is considering this career path, could not recommend Vamp highly enough. My instructor, Brian Mahoney, was phenomenal.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
Now, how long have you actually been like? How long has it been like a career for you as a makeup artist?
Yeah. So let's see. I graduated in June 2021. So almost 2 years.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
All right,
almost
that's
2
awesome.
years. So I'm a baby in this industry. I'm new, but I'm making strides.
And how
Hell
long?
yeah.
How long are like the classes like at Vamp? How long? were
Yeah.
those?
So it's basically like a full-time job. It's 8 to 5 with an hour for lunch. And then it's a 6-month program. So it's
Okay.
basically like a crash course. Very intense crash course.
I'm pulling up your Instagram real quick so we can have it up on the screen and for
Yeah.
our viewers.
Absolutely.
And let me get this going. I should have had this up and ready, but you know me, I never prepare.
No worries.
All right, here we go.
I'm not muted or anything, am I?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
we've actually,
shots
we've
fired.
actually been muted the entire time. The second time we've been muted.
So, all right, let's look through a couple of these right here because I do see some airbrushing with this gentleman right here,
Yes.
and I guess you over here with the princesses. Now, I did see. Here we go. This is the one I'm talking about. All right, talk to me about this one right here.
Yeah. So this was pretty early on in special effects school. This is an out of kit makeup, which basically means there's no like actual prosthetics involved. It's just, things that I already have in my kit ready to
wow.
go. So I actually used a product called Third Degree, which is a silicone compound. There's part A and part B, and you mix it up and then it cures in about 5 to 10 minutes, I'd say. And so that's what I used to create the wounds. The look I was going for was like a firefighter who was rescuing somebody and got burned. And so for that type of look, you really want to focus on the high points of the face, like the forehead and the nose and the chin and the lips, because those are the places that would get burned first.
And that's pretty. Tanner, your take on that?
It looks good.
Looks
I've just been looking at it. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I actually had to do a drill back in high school, like a car accident kind of drill thing, and we had to have like stuff makeup applied and stuff.
Right.
So it was kind of like we had firefighters. They broke the glass. It was like a real like situation. The firefighters would come and break the glass like we were in a car accident.
Oh shit!
And so we had to have like some like burn marks or like cuts and stuff. And like we took about like an hour and a half before we did it. Like us like sitting there having to do it. There's a little fly.
I saw that.
Shoe fly. Get out. And so, but yeah, like it looked
Came right
didn't look
back.
good as that because we're all in high school,
Yeah.
and we had like people from our theater department doing the makeup, but it pretty much like look, it took a while, but didn't look as good as that.
Now, this individual right here, tell us about this work.
Yes.
A little proactive will clear that right on up.
Right. So this is my baby. This was my
Aw.
final project for special effects makeup school.
Oof.
I designed him myself, sculpted it myself, sculpted the dentures, molded it, cast it,
Wow.
applied it, did everything. So that's my favorite part of the whole process, is starting with nothing and then creating this creature at the very end. It's so satisfying. It's like Dr. Frankenstein
Yeah.
and his monster.
That is very good.
Was one of the posts on your Instagram from Graveyard this year or last year for Horror
Yes,
Nights?
it was.
saw
It
that.
was. I did makeup for that. But basically that design that you just had up was inspired by The Hills Have Eyes, which is one of my favorite movies.
So
Like it.
Ooh.
Looks good.
Yeah, the was it the hillbilly zombie or the hillbilly the mutant hillbilly? I should
Mutant Hillbilly, yes.
Yeah, like what this Wrong Turn has the same.
Yeah,
type
it's
of
like a
concept.
wrong
Wrong
turn.
turn.
Like some
Hills Have
inbreeding's
Eyes.
been going on,
Yeah.
and
Hell yeah.
he's looking a little rough, a little sunburned.
say. So I'm about to put up one right now because I'm like, how could I have forgotten this one? This right here, this bad boy. Let it load up.
Ooh,
Jeepers.
Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, holy shit.
Thank you.
Talk to us about the process of constructing something like that.
Yeah. So honestly, I owe a lot of my success with this project to my instructor, Brian Mahoney from Vamp. He helped me with this a lot. This was an insanely hard sculpt.
Look at the freaking Chris. Look at the detail on that thing.
Yeah, no, that's
always
really good.
Oh, thank you. I always loved the Jeepers Creepers movie, and I thought he was such a cool
Wow.
character. And so I was like, I want to do this, and it took forever. It took like I think 90 hours total for me to just sculpt it, not including molding, casting,
Jesus.
any of that. And I honestly still haven't finished it. I
What?
still have to paint him, and then he has these little talons that are molding or growing from his head that I have to mold separately. So it's kind of been a project that has been waiting on the shelf for me to come back to. But
All the texturing. It's
Yeah, that
crazy.
but
yeah,
I have teeth for him that I sculpted. I have eyeballs, and once he's done, I'll let you guys know.
yeah, we would definitely love to see the finished product of that
for
one.
sure.
So, all right. So you were telling me right before we started recording about the makeup that you do, and then you mentioned something about the other job that you
Yeah.
work with, and fill us in on what you do. The second job.
Yes. So I do have a million jobs. Right now, I'm focusing less on theme park work and more on my work at Moulage Sciences and Training.
Okay.
And moulage is just a fancy word for injury simulation, essentially. So I make prosthetics, silicone prosthetic wounds mostly. So chemical burns, thermal burns, gunshot wounds, lacerations. We make a lot of different stuff, and we sell it to hospitals and to the military for injury simulations.
So basically, like what you were talking about
to
with
train.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
exactly.
much.
To
Yeah,
train
yeah, yeah.
medical professionals, and sometimes we get called in to actually apply the makeup and do things like that.
Wow.
holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
So making a gunshot wound, making a chemical burn.
Right.
Are you doing this from like from photos or from like how do you come up with the inspiration?
Well, so by the time I started working at the company, they already had molds for everything.
Okay.
So everything had already been sculpted, everything had already been cast, and everything had already been molded. So mainly it's my job to paint and fill the molds and make sure that they look nice.
So what's the technical color for blood?
For blood,
Yeah.
yeah, it's more red than you typically see in movies.
Okay.
It's like, it's kind of funny with special effects. A lot of things that we're used to seeing in movies aren't actually how they really look, but we're conditioned to sort of see it differently. So like for example, in horror movies, blood is usually a lot darker than it is in real life. And so if you saw like blood that was actually more realistic color, you'd probably say, oh, like that looks so fake, but that's really what it looks like in real life.
So it's like brighter than what?
Yeah. So it's kind of different. Like when you do something for film versus injury simulation, it's like you kind of use a more realistic blood tone.
Chris, growing up, like what was one of your favorite scary movies?
Probably what is it called? It's the movie where the 5 girls go into the underground caves.
Ooh. Oh, yes.
I think it might be called The Hole or something like that. Or basically, it's like these people that live underground and they've like evolved to be able to see underground. They can't. They can't see the descent. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
The Descent one is like one of my favorite horror movies.
It's so good. I love that movie.
And what was it about that horror film that like enticed you?
Oh, the camera work, really. The camera work on it. So the creatures, you never really get to see them too well because they were moving way too fast. So for me, it was the camera work on it, and like the different point of views that they had that really got you good.
Did you see a movie recent years called It Follows?
Yeah.
So,
It Follows
like,
is a good one too. Yeah.
You don't ever really see. I mean, you see like the entity, but it's more about the camera and the soundtrack of it.
Yeah,
It's suspenseful. It makes you like
good concept
feel
on that one
uneasy.
too.
Yeah.
Great concept.
So kind of like that. Like it's like you don't really see the I mean, you see the creature, you don't really see the creature, but like it's all the other extenuating circumstances that really make you like Jesus. You know,
like there's a scene in The Descent where the girls they have these cameras and the camera is turned on to night view, and she's like scanning the caves, like looking for whatever's chasing them, and for some reason she drops the camera, and you see the camera like you're the camera. The camera drops and rolls, and so you're just sitting on the side looking at this angle of the cave. She goes to pick up the camera. As soon as she goes to scan again, one of the shadowy figures are standing right behind the girl, and it's like boom, like it's like oh.
Is it a found footage movie?
Like some is, some isn't. Like the found footage is when you get in the cave. The regular, camera angles are before they go into the cave.
Gotcha.
Now, what's been for you like a film that has like kind of inspired you with your works?
Oh man, there's so many. I really, really love The Thing. The Thing is definitely one of my favorite. Pretty much every movie from the 80s has inspired me. Every horror movie from the 80s.
American
The
Werewolf in
Thing,
London.
absolutely. American Werewolf in London, The Thing, The Blob, Evil Dead. I love it all.
I'm sorry. So let me ask you, who's Anne?
Oh, my mom.
Your mom.
She's very supportive.
Oh,
So I'm gonna put the comment that.
Oh
that,
my
that you're-
gosh. I was like, who is this person and how do they know this?
Yeah, so your mom just put up there. She got hired for
Oh
a gig
my
once
God.
at a nudist 4th of July.
and that's it.
She's controlling the interview now, I guess.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
no.
all right, we're gonna go back into that for a second. But like, thank you, Anne. We appreciate you for that. What the Tom, can you talk about that one?
Yeah, I sure can. So I've done some pretty weird stuff, like freelance work.
Mhm.
Interesting, not weird, interesting. But last 4th of July, I worked at a swingers club.
Was it Secrets?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's like the only one in the area.
I did
Yeah, Pat?
I did their not the 4th of July. It was the New Year's Eve because I worked with Super Dave.
Oh, nice.
And we were actually trying to find someone because they needed airbrush artists for the Chinese New Year or something like that.
Okay.
But no, keep going. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. So basically it was my job to give them 4th of July themed tattoos wherever they wanted, not actual tattoos,
Yeah.
but like airbrush tattoos.
Hell yeah.
Wherever they wanted them. And
Oh,
so
no.
so that was an interesting time. I made so much money though.
I'm gonna
I
get the
bet.
bank. Get the bank. Yeah.
Well, no. Here's the thing. Like, nudists have money.
Yeah.
Nudists have a lot of fucking money. And when I went there for the New Year's Eve party, I got to meet a lot of people who are in that lifestyle. And when they were telling me what they do, I'm like, holy shit! Like you probably make bank. And they're like, yeah, I do.
I do well.
As a
I
matter of
do
fact,
well.
do.
Close off, baby.
I just want to say also how unaware us three here are sitting here. Because what does it say under the guest's name?
Makeup artist.
No. What is her name? Full name?
Jennie Ryder.
And what is Anne's name? Anne Ryder. And none of us picked that up.
What do you mean?
They have the same last name, so like they
Well,
must
no.
be
I
related or
I
something.
saw it earlier, and like I didn't want to like throw Ann all up in here. But then like once I saw the nudist comment, I'm like, okay, who the hell is Ann?
Right. Yeah, that's my mama. My biggest fan.
I'm gonna put my name as Knight Rider now.
There you go.
So you were talking about like the prosthetics.
Yes.
So that's where I want to jump into a little bit more.
Yes.
Tell us more how you took this craft that it was your hobby, it was your calling, and now you're applying it to that. Like, how does that transition?
And are you talking more about the prosthetics I do at Moulage Sciences, or
Yeah.
just in general?
Sciences.
Yeah. So it's actually a different process. There's a million ways to make prosthetics, but it's a slightly different process than what I learned at VAMP. And so it was kind of it's just learning all the different ways to do things.
Mhm.
I went in with experience, but it took me a minute to get down this new method of how they fill the molds.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I started working at Moulage Sciences right after I graduated from VAMP, which I feel very grateful for. It was just good timing, I think. And then from that, I ended up segueing into the theme park work. And I really like the variety of doing both.
Nice.
I love the shop life. I love the women I work with. It's a completely women-run company, which is great because special effects is actually a very male-dominated industry.
Oh,
It is, yeah, surprisingly.
huh. Never would have figured that.
Yeah, very male-dominated. So, yeah, when I'm not doing that, I'm working at the theme parks. And I love the variety of being able to actually apply makeup and apply prosthetics more often because I don't always get to do that at my shop job.
So let me ask you this:
Yes.
What's your drive? Like, what keeps you in this field of art and makeup?
I'm just passionate about it. I've always been an artist, and it's what I'm passionate about, and it's what I want to spend my whole career doing. And I just want to keep getting better and better. I think just the growth and all of the new things I can learn is what keeps me going.
Nice,
Yeah.
Tanner. What was the last horror film you saw?
Oh boy. What? What was the last horror film I saw? I don't want to say it was Halloween Ends because that was a hot minute ago.
It was a horrible movie.
I liked it. I think it was Halloween Ends. Oh God,
That's a while ago.
I hope they're done making those movies.
Yeah, that was well for that director.
Allegedly.
I mean, by the way that one ended, I hope so.
I hope so,
really
too.
do hope so.
Oh wait, no, it was the 2011 prequel to Thing.
Okay.
They did, which I like.
I liked it too.
So a funny thing about that, when I saw that with my dad, we got into a whole argument because he believed it was a sequel. And I'm going, or no, he believed it was a remake. And I'm like, no, it's a prequel. He goes, no, it's a remake. It's the same thing. I go, okay, well, in the original Thing, it's an American station. This prequel is they're Norwegian. And he's like, no, it's a complete remake. I'm like, okay. So we go to the theater and we watch it. And then at the end, when it's running from there to he's like, he looks at me, he goes, oh my God, it's a prequel. I go, really? It's like it's leading into the original movie. Lars, crazy. And so I won $20 that day.
Oh, you actually bet your dad on that one?
Oh yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Because he was stubborn headed. And I said, give me my money, man.
There you go.
Good for you.
what was the show I just watched right now? And like the special effects threw me the fuck off. Oh my God.
In a bad way?
No, in a good way. I was just like so like blown away.
New series, old series.
No, okay. This is where I gotta throw in some stuff. Has anybody seen the new season of You?
No.
Not at the end of it. I'm like,
at all.
What?
You crazy.
But no, I was watching this. There's a scene. It's really not that big of a giveaway. But Joe, the main character, was chopping up this body with a table saw.
As one does.
Yeah, as one does. And it was insane, like the texture and the detail that went into this. Because like honestly, like the sound that came from the saw hitting the bone, hitting the flesh and ripping
the bone. Yeah.
It's just like holy fuck! How
the blood spread? Oh,
yeah.
That was
like how does it get so? On. Is that how it actually looks when that happens?
I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel like realistically,
because like if you bring in a consultant, like is he a murderer? Like has he chopped up a body before?
But I feel like with a saw like that and how flesh really is, once it like gets ripped off the bone, it has less tightness. It's more slacky.
Yeah,
I think more flesh will get caught in that chainsaw to cause it to kind of not keep up that same pace.
Yeah, Chris,
you will be cleaning that saw out after every chop.
Yeah,
like,
how do you know that, Chris? how do you know that?
I plead the fifth.
That's smart.
So your take on special effects when it comes to like mutilations or amputations or things like that?
My take.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I love it. I love it all. The more blood and gore and guts, the better.
Yeah.
And not all of it is realistic. A lot of it's movie magic. I mean.
So where's the makeup that has pissed you off? You're like, oh come on,
man, the makeup that has pissed me off. Honestly, it's usually like lower budget stuff. There's lower budget stuff that has great makeup, and there's lower budget stuff that has really crappy makeup. I'm trying to remember the name of. I think it was like a short film, or maybe it was a commercial, but it's escaping me. The name's escaping me, but there was a guy with a bald cap on, and it was so obvious.
You just see the line.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh man, this is bad. Like, I don't know who approved this, but this is bad. But for the most part, I feel like to the untrained eye, at least, like most makeup that you see in cinema is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you got Hollywood budgets like that to be able to show, an arm being ripped off or someone being decapitated.
Exactly.
Now, where is like one film or one artist where you draw inspiration from? You're like, you know what? I want to see if I can remake that.
Yes. So my favorite special effects artist is probably Kazuhiro. Have you ever heard of him?
I have not.
He's a Japanese special effects artist and visual artist.
Okay.
And he's worked on The Grinch.
Ooh.
He studied under Rick Baker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he did Jim Carrey's makeup for The Grinch to Jim Carrey's dismay.
Holy shit.
He did not have fun.
No, he did not.
He
He almost quit.
He had like anxiety attacks.
How so? Like
because
he
was in the makeup chair for 8 to 10 hours a day.
Jesus.
At least when they were narrowing down like the look, because it takes time to decide like what final look they're going with. And so just when they were starting out, it took much longer to get them into makeup while they were figuring everything out and figuring out the best way to do things. And it drove Jim Carrey nuts.
Probably was super hot in there too, I would imagine, being in there during the time when you have to film.
No, of course.
Oh, and I've been in prosthetics. Like we were each other's models for special effects school, and I absolutely hate being in prosthetics.
I was literally
It's
just
so
about to ask you that.
uncomfortable.
Like, have you ever gone through the process of someone,
Yeah.
doing it to you?
And
And
it's-
like, what's the one challenge of like having to go through that
there's
process?
so many challenges. For me personally, I have really sensitive skin, and my skin hates having things glued to it.
Oh.
So, like, that's a main issue for me. Not everybody has sensitive skin like I do. I have skin like a baby's ass, but
Same.
all over my body and face. So,
Thanks,
that-
Anne.
yeah, thanks, Mom. I get it from her. And then the other thing is foam prosthetics especially are so itchy. And I have a little bit of claustrophobia. So if it's a full face prosthetic and it goes over your mouth and it goes over your nose, then that can be a bit uncomfortable. It's definitely something you have to get used to.
Did you ever have a facial prosthetic for Horror Nights?
No, mine was always just like full body. Like when I was well, Twisty was just a mask over my face. That's over my mouth. But I think it was where am I? Like
Did you have anything for Havoc, or you just bald in there?
I was bald. No, I was bald in Havoc, and then I became the Armored Guard. So they had me in full SWAT gear, and I mean that was pretty cool. But no, I remember one year I was in Festival of the Deadliest, and they had me in this like Skeletor,
Yeah.
Skeletor style mask. But
Wait, can you still do it? Can you still do it?
it's been a while, bro. It's been a fucking while.
It was like a clicker from Last of Us. Yeah.
Something like that.
Nice.
It's been a while.
Good.
It's been a fucking while. All right, not bad.
But I walk through, I'd be like, "It's Skeletor! Here he comes!" This big ass Skeletor walking towards you.
No, every night I would get a Skeletor meme from this guy or our buddy Mike. Just constant. Oh yeah. Shout out to Michael Quinn, who's also makeup artist for Horror Nights.
I know Michael.
You know Mike Quinn?
I know Mike Quinn. Yeah, we work together all the time.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
small fucking world.
Yeah.
Mike constantly, he did for all of Horror Nights 2016. He was constantly the guy I went to in the chair.
Yeah.
Did all my arms.
Yeah, he's great. Such a nice guy too.
Oh no, lovely dude. That's actually how I met Tanner.
Oh, no way.
Wait, did we meet at the wrestling thing?
At the what?
Wait, how did we meet?
We met. So I had known of you through Horror Nights.
Okay.
Like everyone and their mother would be like, Rocky, Pat, Rocky. And I was like, yeah, totally. Like in the grapevine of Horror Nights. And then Mike and I met. And then basically he kept talking about you. And then I think I officially met you, became friends with you in 2017 when you were in Festival.
Oh shit. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So much freaking like levels and shit.
A Skeletor. Yeah.
So let's revisit the Russian thing.
Huh?
The Russian thing you said?
The Russian.
What?
Oh,
The
they said
Russians?
did we meet at the Russian thing?
Oh, the wrestling.
Wrestling. Oh, you gotta pronunciate, brother.
Did I say Russian?
It sounded like you said Russian.
I thought you said. I don't know what you said. That's why I'm like, you said Russian. He said wrestling. I'm like, I thought you said like Brussels. I was like, what? I was like, what? Those Swadanya.
Oh my god. But no, it's so cool because like when like I said when I first met Jenny, awesome individual, great vibe, and then like you find out more about her, and then as you peel the layers, holy crap, talented artist, talented visual makeup effect artist, and like what are other talents that that you do outside of the makeup world?
Outside of the makeup world, I enjoy singing, but I'm very shy about it.
Really?
Yeah, very, very shy. So
Tanner right here got some pipes in him.
Yeah.
That
believe
came out
it.
so wrong. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I didn't
Wait,
even
what
think
did-
about
wait.
it like that until you.
I got some pipes in me.
I'm sitting here looking at you like,
Fair. But no, all right. So singing aside,
Yeah.
Chris, let me ask you this. I want you to have a random conversation with Jenny right now, just right off the bat, because we haven't done this one in a while.
Oh.
But I want you to start a random conversation with Jenny.
Scene marker.
so yeah, before you said about the singing thing, I could kind of tell you have like a look a little bit. let you.
I have a look.
Yeah, you do. Like,
Yeah.
like, what's your favorite genre of music?
Metal.
Yeah,
Heavy
yeah.
metal.
Yeah. So,
Were you at Heart Support?
you said
No,
me
I
and her started a
wasn't.
conversation. Why are you
Sorry.
hopping on our conversation?
Sorry.
So, were you at whatever he just said?
No, I was not. I wasn't. But I knew some people who went, and it looked like a good time. I didn't even know it was happening.
What is it that he's talking about? What is that?
It was a music festival.
Rock Support?
Yeah, it was a rock music festival.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah,
that sounds like
Yeah.
a lot of bruises and bandages right there.
my date got
Sure
kicked in the
does.
head and she was bleeding.
Oh God. Well, it's got to stay out of the pit then.
Did she keep going?
Here's the crazy part. We this was like our first date, and
That was your first day.
yeah, it was our first
Was
date.
there a second?
Did she remember this one?
Oh my god, no. So
Oh
it was
my.
basically our first date. We go out to this concert, and long story short, her friend screwed her over on tickets. Luckily, I had a hookup from the radio station, so we were able to get in. And she's excited because she hasn't seen this. Rise Against was the band, and
right.
I have no idea who these bands are.
You've never
Oh,
heard of them?
No,
Dude,
I've never heard.
I'm
of
with you, Rocky.
I'm the metal one here.
I was like, yeah.
Okay.
I'll go. I'll do all that stuff, but I'm not. I don't know
the other band that I'd never heard of, but they were fucking awesome. The Ghost Within.
Ghost Inside.
Yeah, Ghost Inside.
Ghost
Oh God! First of all, how dare you? Second of all, that band had a. Have you heard about like this, like what they went through?
No.
So the Ghosts Inside were on tour, and they were driving
Haunted by a ghost.
to like Arizona. Yeah, and basically they got in a terrible accident,
Oh.
and the driver of their, I think their van, whatever, they died,
Oh,
and the drummer who I follow,
That's what they were talking
the
about.
drummer is like one of my inspirations because I play drums as well, and so the drummer had to have his leg amputated.
oh my
And
god.
he
That explains the
And-
no leg.
So and they
Oh.
and say, oh my god, and so they didn't do anything for a hot minute. They were all going through like physical therapy and probably therapy, like all kinds of things. And the drummer, I believe it's Andrew. He had to have physical therapy and stuff, and he obviously wanted to keep drumming, so he had to train to use obviously from the where his thigh would start all the way up. That's all what he has on his right leg, and so he had to learn how to drum just using like that thigh muscle.
Oh.
And so now how he drums is, so it's cool that he puts his prosthetic leg on the side, like on a stand while he's drumming. And he has like a pretty like thick pad under his thigh. And so when he drums, there's a mechanism that's attached to the foot pedal that's on the pad under his thigh. So when he's like doing like chugs or double or breakdowns with the double bass,
Mhm.
he's got his full left leg, but it's just his thigh doing that.
Oh shit.
So that thigh muscle's strong as hell, I'm assuming now.
It's gotta be.
But like with the phantom feeling for me, like just using it's watching the videos. It's cool to watch. He had to train just to use that thigh muscle to do it. But
that
yeah,
kickback isn't the same.
yeah,
So,
but that pad connects to the pedal on the bass drum. So he's using one full leg and his thigh, but he's still doing full breakdowns and cruising. They're dope. And so their new album has a lot of songs that deal with since the accident. Like one of them is called like Phoenix Rising or something like that, coming back from the ashes. And the whole album cover is pictures of everyone, like fans who have the Ghost Inside tattoo, like the logo, all collaged together into like a bigger logo.
Oh shit.
They're dope. They're really good. I love them.
Going back to the whole head injury, we are maybe 5-6 feet away from the barricade. We were up dead center as close as possible. The pit circle's going on, the mosh pit's next to us, people are crowd surfing. And I'd forgotten, when I got there, I'd forgotten about mosh pits. I'd forgotten about.
How did you forget about mosh pit?
Yeah, like
Also, you're
I'm
huge.
usually at EDM. I mean EDC.
Okay.
those kind of
There's
festivals.
mosh pits there too, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never
but they're a little bit more laid
No,
back.
no.
I would
Wait,
assume.
what?
I mean, I've been in before, and we're pushing. And
It's
like,
different.
yeah, but like what I've seen in metal, like they're like
circle
The
pits.
general
walls of
rule
death.
of thumb is the heavier the show, the crazier the pit.
I've never seen a pit at an
But reason-
EDM concert.
Really? You never seen one? I've been in
You
like
literally just
2 or
blew my
3.
mind right
But
now.
also, you're the size of the guy who, like, if a pit's happening, you're the one who's picking people up, making sure they're okay.
Yeah.
Because they're huge.
Well, that's what happened. That's what happened during this thing. So there, actually, I got to tell this quick story. There was an individual who brought his 8-year-old son,
Oh my!
to the show.
Yep.
and everyone's entertaining the idea, and he's getting in the pit, and everyone's having a good time, and he's bumping at everyone, and everyone's pretending to fall. Later on, at the end of the night, when Rise Against is up, someone, I forget what band, throws out these inflatables into the crowd. Like I'm talking about, like big ass pool inflatables.
Hell yeah.
There was a dinosaur floaty. There was a hot dog floaty. There was all these floaties that going around.
No.
and this 8-year-old kid ends up on a floaty. And
Are they like?
oh, they are crowd surfing him through, like, back and forth. Like they're not getting him up front. They're just like circling him around and around and around.
What?
And I'm just like, this is like, I don't know if you guys are divorced or married, but this is by far the coolest weekend with my dad ever. If I was that kid.
Yeah.
But then going back into the whole crowd surfing, I got to experience it for the very first time.
They picked your big
They picked
ass
your
up?
ass
They
up?
picked my ass.
They said, all right, 1, 2, Jesus, 1, he's going.
Now, have you ever gone through that experience of being crowd surfing?
I sure have. Yeah, it's very exhilarating.
What's one take that you get from that?
One take.
Yeah, like like how would you describe the feeling?
It's like when you just get off a roller coaster. It's kind of a similar feeling to that, just an adrenaline rush for sure.
When they picked my ass up, because like I was the guy who was always picking people up to
Same.
push, and then of course the people going over. But then I'm like, I want to do this, and I looked at these two guys. I'm like, do you think we could do this? Like everyone's just like, oh, we're totally gonna do this. And luckily, since like we were maybe like 5-10 feet away from the front, I got experience for like maybe 4 seconds of people just like slowly taking me to the
Right.
front. And
Some people are like, nah, nope, nah.
I come back, and the girl that I'm with is just bleeding.
Oh, you
Oh no, you left her.
Wah.
No, no, not me. And she doesn't know that she's bleeding.
Oh.
So I'm looking at her, I'm like, now do not laugh when I say the name, okay? I'm like, Annie, are you okay? My ex-fiance was Annie. And
Who's gonna start singing?
yeah, and that's the thing I didn't realize until like I told this story, because I'm like,
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
I don't know.
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
I don't know.
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay?
Oh
Are you
my
okay, Annie?
And I'm looking at Annie, and I'm like, do you need first aid? Do you need medical attention?
Oh my gosh.
And she's looking at me, she's like, for what?
I don't know.
So we've all been at concerts, we've all been at shows where like the adrenaline just takes over. You
Yeah.
don't care what's going on around you.
That's exactly what it was.
And I looked at her and I touched her
Oh,
face,
God.
and I'm like, you're bleeding.
Did you Simba her?
Are you sure you didn't kick her in the head mid
Ooh,
crowd surf?
You probably could have.
I didn't kick her in the head, but she said that at one point when the crowd surfing was going over her, something hit her, but it wasn't when I was going over. It was not.
Not your fault. Not your fault.
Jesus.
But
Oh my
yeah, I
God.
look at her, I'm like, you're
crying.
bleeding, and she puts her hand on her face and she goes like this, like, holy shit,
She wiped it.
that's a lot of fucking blood. And Rise Against starts to play, and she's like, I can't leave because I need to see this is my favorite band of all time. I can't fucking go. So as a trooper, she literally just like wiped the blood
Hey.
all off, and she's like, we're fucking
So now
doing
she's
this.
bloody.
She
as
looked,
shit.
she looked at you. She looked at you and said, "Let's do it."
She's just a walking crime scene now.
Exactly. Now, I wanted to ask everyone here to talk about their certain experiences, like where you've been hurt or something has happened, but because of what's going on, you can't fucking leave. Whether it's the adrenaline hitting you or something's just like,
Like if we've been personally hurt by something or affected by something, or
Yeah.
like we've seen something.
no, but let's go with both, whatever's easier for you.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Like where
Cool.
something is going on and you're like, I can't leave. Like this is insane. This is fun. No, I'm staying here. Now I'll give one example for myself. This is when I boxed back in the day, and there was one show, and okay, hold on, Katrina, I saw your text. I am not hosting tonight, but once I finish here, we're going to be at Graffiti. So we will be at Graffiti
Oh my
in a
God.
little bit. Okay.
That's too funny.
She said,
You don't want to answer my text? I'm gonna get to you somehow.
I know he's online. I
Yeah.
know he.
So hopefully, Kat, if you see this, we will see you at Graffiti in a little bit. Anyways, when I used to box, and there was one match where I threw a bad shot to the ribs, and I felt something like a little crack. And I'm like, oh, it's fine. And every time I threw a punch, the pain just got worse and worse and worse. And to the point where like I can't use this hand anymore because like something's messed up, something's weird. Finally, the fight's over. I won by points, and they cut off the glove, and they pull off the glove, and my thumb is over here.
Oh no!
And the adrenaline had me going so much that I'm like, oh shit, that hurts now. Okay, I get it now. But like, anyone ever go through that kind of experience where you just let the pain go because you're in the moment?
Oh man.
I have one, but it's not funny or fun.
Was it your ass doing something stupid?
No, I wasn't.
Oh,
I wasn't. Like I was out playing basketball with like a friend of mine, and I lived in like a really bad area, and there was somebody was looking for, and they were at the park, and they came by and they shot up the park. Yeah, it's not like fun or anything.
God.
For me, my experience was as we're running, and you know, I there was a fence, and I swear I felt like I like took a toe and put it in the part of the fence and just hopped over it in a single bound. Like I literally did not touch it with my hands. Like I woof, over the fence, right? And we get there, me and my friend, we get the safety, and we're standing there, and we're just like our adrenaline's pumping. We're talking about like how fast we were running, and like what the hell just happened. And he's just like, Chris, you're bleeding. And I look down, and
oh shit.
No. Wrong arm. Right here, I have like this little line that goes across. It was like flesh, almost like seared, because I got grazed.
Ooh.
And I didn't even realize it.
I was about to say, did you get like actually shot?
No, I got grazed. Grazed. So just the bullet seared the skin. Like it literally, like as it was passing, it must have like nipped me like that. Or it came close to me, it just seared.
Imagine if you got shot in the funny bone.
Oh my god, that wouldn't have been humorous. And
I'm gone.
But no, yeah, like I remember like putting my arm up, and I'm like,
the clock's ticking, and then ding ding.
I'm like, yeah, like I don't even feel that.
That is insane.
So like when I see it in movies or like, you know, with people like that late reaction, that shit is real. Like you don't feel it or see it. Like usually you can look at it and feel it, but I looked at it, I didn't feel it or anything. But the moment I put my arm back down and like the wind like grazed it, ugh.
So now we throw it over to you, Jenny. Has there ever been a situation like that where your adrenaline just took over and you didn't feel what was going on?
Oh man. I've been trying to think of something like that. I'm a very injury prone person, but it's more just like bumping into a table or a shelf or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't think of anything.
Or have you ever been
like
witness to
that.
something like that?
Oh, to something like that, I'm not sure. I have been witness to some crazy shit though. I remember I was in like a video store once, like a movie store, and somebody drove right through the window.
Oh, whoa!
And I was right there. I was like maybe 3 feet away from this window that this guy.
Oh my god!
And I was with my boyfriend at the time. And I just I was like every man for himself, jumped in the opposite direction, got the fuck out of it. He was like, wait, like
you got the movies, babe?
Yeah, right. And he was like, you didn't like pull me with you. You didn't try to. I was like, no, this is a life or death situation.
Did you guys rent How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days? But it was like 1 minute.
Yeah, right. Well, we're not together anymore, so.
Okay, understandable.
But all right, Tanner, your turn.
So, I've seen something, but personally, the only thing I can really think of that's ever happened to me is this was like when I was playing like professional like travel ball, like baseball, and I was a pitcher. And it was a pretty significant game, and I'm pitching, and so my pitching style was weird. I had a thing called a heavy ball, so when I would pitch, the ball would kind of slant downwards.
Okay,
so like it would like come in lower and make batters swing at it, but it would still be a strike. Like it wouldn't be like a ball.
Yeah,
it would come in high and just go like that. And so I'm pitching.
I'm still trying to make that sound. I can't do it.
And so I was going for the whole game. Wow, congrats. You
just got it.
You're now a drag queen.
Got it.
No, it's not. It's
nah.
Copping.
I'm not good at that sucking thing there.
That's not okay.
I don't know how the fuck I did that.
Nice job. So I'm pitching. I feel fine, and all of a sudden, like split second, just pain in my shoulder. And I'm like, ooh, okay, probably muscle. I'm probably cool. Still pitching, scratching, getting worse, scratching, getting worse, scratching, getting worse. I'm like, Dad, this is not okay. Like,
And what did you say, Chris?
What?
He said, Dad,
he doesn't know his. So,
yeah, I wasn't there. He was talking to his father that raised him.
okay.
Yeah, milk carton status. And so it's hurting. My dad's like, no, you're fine. You're okay. Just stretch your arm out after. Because what I would do as a pitcher is like you called it milking your arm. It sounds so weird. But basically you would push the muscle and get all the lactic acid out of your arm.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't hurt as much. Mm-hmm. And that hurts itself, like just pushing your bicep like that and like pushing it all out. So I was like, it's probably muscle. And it kept hurting. I told my dad, he goes, you're fine. Just stay in the game. After the game, I was like writhing. I couldn't pick up my arm. And I was like, we need to tomorrow or now go see someone. But I was like, I didn't even think about it really because I was pitching and we won. Hell yeah. Get to the doctor. And I'm still sitting there, like not really in pain, but in pain. And so, okay, I'm going to do something. And he like moved my arm a certain way. And I punched the doctor like with my other arm. And he took next way. He goes, yeah, your shoulder's fractured. I was like, oh, so I just pitched a whole 9 innings. Okay. And he goes, who let you stay in? I turned, I'm like, looked at my dad. And my dad was like, that one's on me.
It's like rub a little dirt in it.
That's what my dad always says. He goes,
Right.
put some dirt on it. And I'm like, sure, it's fractured. Sure. Yeah. But
I should have been there. I would have told you to drink some Robitussin.
Everybody hates Chris. Look at it. Do not eat the big piece of chicken. A viewing. I was at Warped Tour and I was at Mice of Men, and there was a circle pit happening in front of me. And I think it was those in the Glass House was playing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they were going, and a girl fell in the circle pit and she got her head stepped on.
What?
Multiple, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like going, she fell, and then just people just on her.
Oh,
and
shit.
they kept going. And I'm sitting there, I'm on the outside. There's no way I can't get in. There's no way, nothing. And I'm like trying to yell for someone. And the big dude is like walking by, and I'm like, brother, you gotta, I just saw this happen. And he literally trucks his way into the circle pit and picks this girl up like over his shoulder. And someone that she was with, like, somehow saw her. She comes running over. And so this girl, she's like multiple times trampled. And so she was still coherent, like, not really, but like she was, for answering questions.
Yeah, yeah.
But she was like, was I in the pit? Was I in the circle pit? and we're like, yeah, you were in the circle pit. Are you? She goes, I don't feel anything. I go, give it like 5 minutes. Like, and so it was bad. But like it happened, but then she was like, I was in the circle pit. What happened?
That's insane.
And I'm like, give it 5 minutes. Here, get nice.
Your body goes into shock, and that you get that oxytocin hit.
Yeah. I was like, well, don't ever want that happening. I was like, absolutely not.
Good for you for
Jesus.
spotting her and getting someone to help them.
Yeah, I was like, someone, you big fucker, come here. Like,
She-
Like,
her.
it's like you choose the Pokemon, like, go do it.
I said, Tyranitar, go. I was like, you're huge.
It's funny, like she could have just went to the zoo for that type of stomping and helped in the
Yeah,
ape shit. Like,
But no, I bring that up because this past weekend and we're about to wrap up. I did my ayahuasca trip.
Did you? I've been wanting to do that. Where'd you do it?
I'll say it off air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I gotta say this: the experience that I had was fucking life changing.
Really?
Because to the point where, Chris, you're gonna. I want to see your face when I say this. I don't ever want to drink ever again. I don't ever want to touch Jack Honey. I don't ever want to touch a beer. I don't want to touch any kind of alcohol ever again in my life.
Are we about to go drink after this?
Oh no, I'm gonna have some chicken wings. I'm buying you guys a drink, but I'm not drinking.
He told me this when I walked in. I went, real? Okay.
wait, what now? Wait. So wait,
He had an experience with something, and that experience made him realize he doesn't need to drink to cope with anything.
Yeah.
Oh.
I had 3 revelations. When I purged, one of the things. Well, if you know what
purged?
I purged. But, yeah, funny. I'll summarize this real quick. When you purge is when you're throwing up into this grave, and it's all the toxins and everything negative that's coming out of you. And at one point, dude, I'm on the floor. My head is over the hole, and I'm over the pit, and I'm spewing. And I start seeing these shapes and these colors in my puke. And I look at it, and dude, as I like wipe my eyes, I see a bottle of Jack Honey. I see a microphone. I see a bingo card. I see all these shits that I have in my life right now. And it made me realize that I focus too much on certain things when I should actually be focusing on myself. And then the third revelation was where I was trying to go to sleep, and everybody was yelling at me, telling me they need me for this, they need me for that. And I kept saying, I want to sleep. I need to sleep. And came to the realization that I put myself out there too much, and I don't focus on myself.
You're a people pleaser.
I'm a people pleaser. And what I want to get off on this and get everyone's input on, do you feel that you have ever been to a point where you just give too much because of people's, like the gratitude or the satisfaction of making someone happy? And I want to throw this over to you, Chris, and I want to go around the circle to talk about if you've ever gone through that experience where like you just give too much of yourself and forget about yourself.
I feel like I've done that to like maybe an individual that I was like, in a relationship with, but never to like people. I've always had a pretty good control over not giving myself too much, to get to that point. But definitely, I feel like, when I'm in a relationship, I do become super ultra like that, but as far as the general public, I've always pretty much had a good control over it.
Jenny, what about you? Your take?
Absolutely. That's something I'm really trying to work on, actually, actively. I think it's funny you brought that up. I've just always been a giver, I guess, and I'm not quite as good as at receiving. And I feel like there's a lot of people in the world who will take advantage of people's giving nature.
Yeah.
And that's a lesson I've learned pretty recently. And so my biggest takeaway from all of that is that I need to be pouring my energy into the people who are giving it back to me.
There you go. Because like before I came here, I went to go see someone who needed some help with something. And once everything was resolved, taken care of, it was now more of it wasn't a help anymore. It was like they needed me to be there because they needed someone to talk to and vent a little bit about what they were going on in their lives. And they were like, I know you have to go. I'm like, no, it's okay. Everyone's late right now. Tanner's late. Chris is late. Jenny's late. Everyone's late. This is like
I was early.
I know.
So you decided to line the people.
I was trying to make our guest feel better because he was like, I'm late. Don't worry. It's fine. And thank you, Chris. God damn it. It's like Santa don't exist right now.
I'm always late. I was on time this time.
I know.
So
I was shocked about
I know.
that.
I was shocked too. He could have been an hour into the show and he would have showed up.
Yeah.
Which you have done before.
I'll be coming in right about now.
But as we're wrapping up, I just want to say this. So if you have something that you need to talk to about someone, don't be afraid to just like pull your bestie, pull a bartender, just talk to someone, because you don't know what their experience in life has been, or what they're going through in life, or what they're witnessing will do for you, for your mental health. And never be afraid to talk about or share your feelings, because honestly, if you don't, it's gonna fuck you up. And I want to throw it over to Tanner, because I didn't ask you, bro. Like, has there ever been a point in time in your life where you just gave and gave and gave?
So I have never been very on the forefront of taking care of myself. I'm like Jenny said, I'm always usually a giver. One of my love languages is giving, and gift giving and doing acts of service for other people. And I never take the time to sit for myself and take care of myself and think about what are the needs that, like, what are my needs? What are my, like, how do I need to take care of myself? And I've always been the person to, like, at 2 a.m., if a friend of mine is having an existential crisis or they're just crying for, I'm the one who's like, okay, I'll drive to you. I'll talk to you, or let's go to a park and just sit and talk. I'll go get you late night fries from McDonald's, just vent. I've always been that person. I've always been the one, like, if you need help, I will drop everything and come help you. Like, a friend of mine last year had to go to the hospital for a medical thing that she has, and I literally dropped everything and brought her to the hospital, because she's a good friend of mine. But I was like, I just do that. I was in the middle of something, and there have been times where I've broken down. Like, I've start, because like I have like I have anxiety and stuff, and like the past few years it hasn't really affected me, but there are times where I'll just like I'll just break.
Yeah, just come out of nowhere.
And like I don't cry a lot. I don't, like, even if it's like something super emotional, I have weird ways of coping with things. Like I will like maybe like smile. I will smile sometimes, but like because I don't know how to react. I just feel weird. And there are times I've broken down, and people who know me, like, that I don't really react to things, and they've seen me break down, and they're like, "Oh my god, oh my god, what's wrong with you?" And I'll spew. I will spew, and they're like, "Well, first of all, you never do this, so I appreciate that you're telling us what's going on with you and what's wrong with you." And I realize that I need to express my feelings more about myself. Like if I'm not okay, and like reaching out to people to actually like, "Hey, are you busy? Can we just talk?" Or, can we go like get coffee or something? Because I need to work on not pouring myself into everyone else, and actually taking that energy back once in a while.
Yeah.
So that's what one of my New Year's resolutions was trying to, receive that more and take the help, and take, and do more self-care, and obviously saying no. Sometimes you have to say no for the benefit of yourself, for your mental health. And the other day there was like 3 or 4 people were like, hey, and I was like, I'm with myself today. I'm sorry. I'm doing my own thing today.
Do you ever feel guilty saying no?
Sometimes, like, yeah, it's weird. It's saying, because like I've always been saying yes, and like, yeah, sure, I'll help you. Like saying no, I sit there, I'm like, this person's gonna hate me now, or
that's how I feel.
Yeah, I'm
that's
like we're not gonna be friends anymore. Like
right.
the next time I text you, you're not gonna respond to me.
Yeah.
And then the next day they text me and they're like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm like,
you're like, "Oh, it's fine."
I'm like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah.
But like, I also feel like it's a necessity and a positive thing just to say no for yourself once in a while.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like it's no ill will on that person. It's just I'm taking the day for myself to recharge and recoup. And the next time you need help, sure, I'll be there.
It's necessary to take that time.
It's weird. It's weird. I don't know. I kind of feel like a lot of the reason why, like, I don't necessarily have like that problem, with feeling like, I feel sometimes I feel not gratitude towards people when I do things for them. But I mean, for being able to just say no to someone when I need to take time for me, like I don't necessarily feel guilty or anything. I think because I've like heard no so much growing up. So it's like I've heard no so much to the point where I know how to use it to work for me now instead of working against me. And I hear that a lot with like people that I know who have that feeling, who, when they're looking out for themselves and they're, saying no in their own best interests, and, they feel guilty. And then you have those people that take advantage of that guilt, and, I'll really be, thinking about you guys and praying for you, because I mean, that's a huge thing. And, I really hope, you guys can let that guilt go and just live your life to the fullest for yourselves.
I think it's also the fact for me though, that like throughout high school, like middle school, I was picked on since as long as I can remember, about my height, my body, any sort of thing. And so then I turned around and became the person that if I see someone else getting bullied, I'm going to come and wreck your shit. Like obviously the bully. And I've had a few instances before like that. And my dad, whenever he came, to the school, and they were like, "Mr. Kaiser, your son did this." And he goes, "Okay, let's go get ice cream." And they're like, "What?" And he goes, "Hey, what was the situation again? Tell me what happened." And they told him. He goes, "So he was defending the kid and himself." And they're like, "But he laid hand." Yep. Well, okay, bye. And I think it's just spreading from that. Like I've always been a protector of sorts. Like I like protect. I don't want seeing my friends or anyone be hurt like that. And I think that's always me of wanting to give my aid and my help and all my energy to someone else, when again I need to do a 180.
Yeah, right there. Judy in the comments says like it can be so hard.
It can
to say no.
Not to a double quarter pounder with cheese though.
Oh no. And speaking about quarter pounder with cheese, we're about to head out to go to
that's Graffiti Junction. So you should say no.
Park. And as we're wrapping up the show, I'm ending on this, guys. Earlier this week, I was not hosting. I went to go do an open mic. And then I got home, literally pulling into my driveway. Someone messaged me and was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, literally just pulling up to my house. If you suggest for something to do, I might entertain the thought. And then I remembered what had happened to this person a few days ago. And I'm like, I feel like this is someone reaching out. Like they need a friend right now. And I'm glad that I went because they were talking about self-harm. And I was not expecting that from them, because as crazy as it sounds, hey, we've been seeing a lot more of this in the media. People that we admire, people that we look up to, taking their lives because they just can't handle it, or things get overwhelming. But do yourself a favor and just talk to somebody. If you're going down that road and you're feeling down and you don't know what else to do, it's okay to reach out to someone. No one's going to judge you on that one. And maybe they'll help you out of that dark spot, or, point you in the right direction to get the help that you need, because it's not weakness to ask for help. And with that being said, if you're not laughing, first of all, I'm so sorry that we're ending on such a down note. Shout out to Jennie Ryder for coming out. I mean, Jennie Ryder.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Jennie Ryder, thank you so much for being on the show today. I put your IG out there. Tell everyone anything you want to plug, go for it.
Ride or die.
Thank you so much for having me. The only other thing, I guess, is my website is writerartistry.com. So if you want to check out my portfolio, hit me up there.
Awesome.
Writer Artistry at portfoliobox.com.
Would that link be on your Instagram?
It is.
Boom.
It's in my bio.
Follow her, give a like, find out what she's about. This is a great local artist here in Orlando, and I can't wait to see your work. I can't wait to see what you become over the next few months and over the year. And honestly, I'd love to have you back just to do like a follow-up to see your progress and see how everything has been.
Yeah. When that Jeepers Creepers sculpture is finished, I'll bring him in.
For sure.
And right there, where is it? Yay, Jennie.
Yeah.
He means yay, Genie.
Yay, Genie.
Chris, anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
No, just hey, man. Lovely time here. Always a great time. Have some wholesome conversations, say some funny things. You can hit me on IG, Taylor Gang 8807. Same thing with any other socials, Facebook, Twitter, all same tag. Well, until next time, guys. Taylor Gang out.
My Instagram is tkaiser13. I would be doing Orlando Fringe Festival again this year. In May, we're doing last year I did a show called Bullock and the Bandits. It was like a ghostly like rock and roll review, and we're doing that show again this year. Different songs but same spookiness, so come check that out in May. Other than that, just vibing. And I have one last thing. Chris, you can vibe me on this. Ready? Apple bottom jeans, boots with the furs. Then the whole club was looking right at her. Baggy sweatpants.
Ooh, they baggy.
Reeboks with the straps.
Reeboks.
Then you turn around
girl.
and give the booty a smack.
I think I like Smooth Criminal better.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Check me out. March 22nd, I'll be performing live at the Improv with Real Laughs with James Yon, Miguel Colon Jr., Ken Miller, and just added to the list, Devin Siebold. So go to the Orlando Improv website, get your tickets now before they sell out. If you want to see me in person, I'll be hosting trivia every Tuesday, beginning at 6 o'clock in Lake Mary at Coyoacan. Lake Mary, one of the best Mexican restaurants, and that's coming from your local Mexican right here, telling you that's a badass Mexican restaurant. Also, check me out, Graffiti Junction, Thornton Park, for trivia every other Wednesday. I'll be there this Wednesday coming up. And also Graffiti Junction College Park every other Thursday, beginning at 9 o'clock for adult bingo. This one coming up is going to be Latin night. So with everyone here, thank you so much for everyone who came out tonight. If you're not laughing, you're not living. Live every day to the fullest, but always do it
to the fullest.
No, you're supposed to say with the side of chaos.
With the side of chaos.
Let's try that again. Since we've redone this episode twice already, might as well.
Rocky, this is my first time on with the side of chaos. So
you said that before.
Right, since the redo.
You've said that before. You've been on before.
No, I have not. No.
Well, we popped your cherry, your chaos cherry.
Oh, God.
It was very chaotic.
So here we go. If you're not laughing, you're not living. live every day to the fullest, but always do it
with a
The side of chaos.
We'll see you guys next week.